Having been out of the limelight for almost 30 years, a bunch of former primary school pop stars have reformed to launch an all-new version of their song There's No One Quite Like Grandma. The question is, will it make the Christmas #1?
Fingers and toes crossed in the studio. And joining us now from that choir, lead singers Helen White and Nicola Hume. Hello.
Hello.
Lovely to have met you both. We remember you all those years ago on Top of the Pops, except I know that's a bit of a sore subject because you two didn't actually make it, did you?
No.
What happened there?
Bit of bad timing, really. My parents went on holiday when they were doing the list for the licence.
Oh, dear.
You had to have a licence if you were under 16, so we didn't make the list for the licence, so therefore we didn't go on Top of the Pops, but it's probably the only thing we didn't go on, isn't it? I mean, we did loads of other stuff.
You were, as a
Absolutely
choir,
did.
everywhere, weren't you?
Yes,
You were,
yes.
yeah, I mean, you were
Some
all
with ABBA.
over. You really?
Some with
Yes,
ABBA?
we sang with
Didn't
ABBA
know
at Bingley
that.
Hall in Staffordshire.
Wow,
on
and
their
how
tour.
old were you at this age? I mean, you were tiny, weren't
was
you?
that about 81 or was it? No, it was earlier. It was about 79, so I was about 8, you were about 10. So, yeah, there was only a handful of us went on stage with them at Staffordshire.
How many were in the school choir and how many sang on the song and how many performed? Was it always the same bunch of kids?
No,
No, they took different people. Obviously, they couldn't take the whole choir every time, so they used to choose different people to do different bits, give everyone a go,
Chance.
really. Yeah.
So all of you sang on the record, is that right?
Pretty
Yes.
much, yeah. There's probably
Yeah.
about 60 to 100 of us.
Wow! I see, which is why it always sounded far more impressive than perhaps when you watched Up at the Pops and it was like, all those little guys, they're making all that noise. There was an awful lot more of you in it.
Yes, yeah, in the recording studios. But Strawberry recording studios, where we did it, was quite small recording studios in Stockport, so they sort of had to cram us all in, didn't they? Shoehorn us all in. So it was, but those were good times, weren't they? Recording at the studio, it was really fun.
Gosh, I'll bet that is. It must have been so exciting. And I bet you never imagined at that time just how huge the choir would go on to become. Because, as you say, you were everywhere. You sang with ABBA. You knocked John Lennon off the top spot, I believe, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. At Christmas. He was on, and because, of course, he'd been shot earlier that month. So his songs had sort of been at #1, a couple of his songs before that, and then so it was such a surprise, but a nice surprise.
Of course.
But
How did it happen? Because these days, I mean, children take the media for granted. You know, they watch the TV, they understand how it all works. But, you know, back then, how does a school end up making a record?
Well, we'd done records, we'd recorded albums before then. I mean, the choir itself had been going since the 60s. I mean, before then, the choir had actually got to #1 with Matched Up Men and Matched Up Cats and Dogs with Brian and Michael. Don't know whether anybody remembers that.
Oh, yes, we've had them in the studio a few times.
So, yeah,
Oh,
so
I know
they were
Kevin
quite...
very well, yes.
Oh, dear. Yeah. Right. So we just went on from there, and Gordon Wrens wrote the song, and then Music for Pleasure. Richard Baldwin came down and picked Dawn, who sang the original solo, and it just went on from there, really, didn't it?
And 29 years later, you've all reformed, which is a lovely story. You're going to be on at the Manchester Cathedral tomorrow from 11 to 1.
Yeah.
Tell us very quickly about these little woolly hats
Yeah,
you've got
because
on your cardigan.
the single's raising money this time, isn't it, for charity?
It is, yeah. We're the Innocent, the Smoothie Makers, have reformed us as the Big Nick Choir, and they sponsor, or they run this charity, which is for Age Concern and Help the Aged, and basically people knit these hats, they go on the top of the Innocent smoothie bottles, people buy them and the money goes towards the charity, and all the proceeds from the record is also going towards the charity. So if people download it from iTunes, the 79p goes towards Help the Aged charity.
Good.
And hopefully we'll get you to #1. You never know.
Yes,
you never
but
know.
fingers
That'll be
crossed.
nice.
I hope so.
Nice to have met you.
Fabulous.
And you.
Thank you.
Girls. The choir will be singing that famous song for us at the end of the show. We'll leave you with the choir singing There's No One Quite Like Grandma.
Have a nice
Great
weekend. Bye-bye.
Grandma, we love you. Grandma, we do. Though you may be far away, we think of you. There's no one quite like Grandma, and you know you will agree. She always is a friend to you, and she's a friend to me. There's no one quite like Grandma. She's there in times of need. Before it's bedtime on her knee, to us a book she'll read. Grandma, we love you. Grandma, we do. Though you may be far away, we think of grandma. She always